What's up, everyone? Let's chat about beat effects and color effects. These are those special effects that everyone's eager to learn about on the mixer. Want to think, how am I going to spice up my mix? So we're going to talk about how not to and how to use those effects. Okay, so before we even get started talking about what the effects do, what they sound like, just consider the fact that we're not going to be using the effects a lot in our mix. We only want to sprinkle them in here and there. You don't want to use too much effects because it gets really corny and it takes away from the quality of the music you're playing. I assume you guys are going to play some really cool music that you like a lot. Sometimes too many effects can ruin the song and your crowd is going to be like, okay, I get it, DJ. So I just wanted to get that point across first. So now that we know to not use them all the time, let's get to know how to use them. So there's two different parts of the effects on the mixer here. So we have our color effects, right? Color effects. And we have our beat effects. They're two separate effects racks. So we're going to do one and then the other. So we're going to focus now on our color effects. We have our filter, we have our crush, we have our noise, and we have our dub echo. So we're going to listen to what each one sounds like, and you're going to kind of get to know them, okay? So they're all grayed out at first, which is default. So that means none of them are turned on. You can only ever have one on at any given time. How you do that is you click it. Okay, it turns blue, that means the effect is on. And once the effect is on, the only way to use it, you have to twist the knob, which is specific to each channel. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 knobs, one for each channel. If I try to twist this knob and affect this track, nothing's going to happen because this only affects channel 4. But let's say we're on channel 1. So we need to turn it on and we need to use this knob here to use the effect. So we're just going to listen to the same track for this whole lesson here. And we're going to talk about what each effect does. So let's just listen to the track. We're going to start with the filter. So there's a high side and a low side. Let's just listen first, and then I'll tell you what's happening. Okay, so we have a high pass and a low pass filter, okay? When you see the high side of our knob, that means it's a high pass, or you can also call it a low cut. So when I twist it to the right, you'll notice you're losing bass. So that means you're cutting out the low frequencies. So if you want to cut out some bass and just build some extra anticipation, that's how you're going to do it. Let's listen to that again. The other way is the low pass or the high cut, and you can guess it does the opposite. It takes away high frequencies and only has bass. So that's what our filter does. Now let's look at the crush. Let's just listen to what this does. So basically it's a bit crush effect, and it's hard to get it to sound really good, and that's the case on any mixer that I've ever used a crush. So I usually don't use it very often, but it's there as an option in case you wanted to add an extra bit crushy sound to it. I like to use it if I'm going to use it kind of in between, like a fill before the drop comes back with no bass. So now let's talk about our noise. So this is like a white noise uplifter. We're going to show you what that sounds like. I would make the sound with my mouth, but it doesn't sound nearly as pleasant. So let's check this out. So you can add an extra little energy to your build-ups and stuff like that. That works better if you're playing some higher energy stuff like big room, dubstep, trance. This is deep, so that is a little too much for this track, but you can use it in other settings as well. And cool thing about this effect is you can do it on a single channel without any music feeding into it. That's the only effect that you can actually hear without music getting fed into the effect. And notice when it's really loud on the actual track, like louder than the song itself. So you can use it if you want to on another channel and just turn it down and you can use it. It's not as loud. That's how I would use it if I were to use it. Okay. And now let's talk about our dub echo. Kind of a cool effect. I would like to use that like before a drop happens maybe. Like let's just give it a listen. So those are our 4 color effects. Feel free to mess around with them, you know, and get a feel for what you want to use, what you don't want to use. And again, don't use it too much. Just because you know how to use it doesn't mean you want to use it all the time. So these are our color effects here, okay? So now let's move over to our beat effects. And again, they're 2 separate effects. Notice how they have their own part on the mixer here. So the beat effects are a little bit more complicated. This one is a single channel, right? For this knob, it's pretty straightforward. These you actually have to channel select, specifically what channel you want to affect here. So we're going to start with this as our display screen. We have the name of the effect that we've chosen, what channel it is affecting, in this case channel 1, what tempo is our effect happening at, and this is our little changing our time. Notice where it's changing right here. It says 3/4, half, 1/4. So that's the timing of our effect, and in this case it's the echo. And this is our little quantize button. So this will quantize the effect to the tempo of your song, which is important with like an echo effect. You want the echo to echo off at the same tempo that your song is, that you're echoing. Echo. So this is our effect selector knob. Okay. We have 4 to choose from. We have our echo, trans, flanger, and roll. Okay. And you can select them here. And again, it tells you which one you have selected at the top. This is how to select what channel our effect is affecting. Changes up on that screen there too, if you see. You can also put it on the master so you don't even have to worry about changing which channel you want to affect. I usually do it as a single channel because I like to only affect one if I'm having 2 tracks playing like during a transition. But there's nothing wrong with having it on the master, no biggie. This is how you affect the timing of your effect by milliseconds. This is fun if you want to take the echo, for example, past our 1/8 pump mark. You can go, oh, no, yeah, it doesn't want to go any further. But yeah, either way, this thing's cool because you can change it by the millisecond. I personally use all these pre-selected increments because the effect sounds really good at those, and that's based on the tempo of the song. This is our level and depth, so this is how much the effect is affecting the song, and this is your on and off button. So just like these effects, it needs to be on first, and you need to twist the knob if you want anything to happen, okay? So let's just get back to our song over here. So we're just going to go through them one by one, starting with the echo. Notice that little gallop. And change the timing here. So I use that echo before a drop happens. I like to use it there. And when I change the timing, it just changes the amount the echo is. I'll let that let you hear that again. And there's the one. So that's our echo effect. Here's our trans effect. This is kind of like a gate, so it's going to kind of chop it up. Let's listen to that. That can be cool again before a drop. Something kind of like that. All right, and then let's move to our flanger. And again, you notice the timing, what it does differently. So experiment with that, see what you like about it, see where you're going to want to use it. Flanger. This one is really cool. I like this effect a lot. It kind of creates an evolving sound to your song. I just almost all the time, I only really use my effects in between drops. Like here, where it kind of breaks a little bit. This is the best place for effects in my opinion. The flanger does this cool evolving. I like to go way back to 32. It's like a cool slow evolving effect. If it's shorter, it sounds cool too. I just really like that long evolving, but you can do it even faster too. The cool thing about having two different effects is you can do them combined. So I'm going to add my filter to my flanger. So those are all of our effects. That's how you select which channel you want to use, and you can also do combos as well. I'll show you one more of my favorite combos, and that's the filter with the echo combined together. So I'm going to show you that, and again, right before a drop, this is my thing. But there's no right or wrong way. It's up to you how you want to do it. So experiment by all means and see what you like. Okay, and one more pro tip about the effects. If you're not using them, keep each knob at 12 o'clock at all times. So just in case if you click the filter and it's already here, it's going to immediately filter down. So if you're not using it, normalize everything at 12 o'clock. And keep the effect off. It's easy as that. That wraps it up. Experiment with it, see what you like, and you'll unlock your combinations. Listen to your favorite artists and pay close attention to what type of effects they use, and just try to mimic that as another word of advice. And yeah, that's about it. Talk to you soon.